Hi, Sage. What's good? Don't mind me. I'm painting my nails right now.
Oh, it's okay. I'm having my little dirty chai. Is that name right? It means a chai with an espresso for like those who are like, what's she really drinking? Chai latte with a shot of espresso. How are you?
I'm great. So much has happened since the last time we actually did an official show. We've talked since then, but
Yeah.
And honestly, even since we've talked, like last for real, so much has changed. So there's a lot happening. But yeah, what about you?
Same. Life has taken me in a whole new direction in so many ways. And so firstly, I have relocated, as you know, like I live here in Miami, Florida, girl.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so cool because I feel like we spoke about it at least on like 1 to 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't like had the chance to go back and watch that and listen to it and just see like where I was and where my body was and where my aura was, because I feel like 6 months later, it's a completely different like aura for sure. Yeah. I resigned from teaching. So I said goodbye to my little babies in June, and they had their graduation, and it's just, a really nice moving up ceremony. It was very emotional, but also very, it was just full of joy, because it's like I've been with them for 2 years, and to finally, see them through this final stage before they go to grade school is just amazing. Resigned from teaching. I went to Mexico in July for 9 days.
Yes.
A much needed trip out of the country with my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Tulum, Playa del Carmen. I did like a lot of like nature excursions, like in Siancán and the Mayan waterways, and like I got to see dolphins in the wild, and it was just nice to relax, get away from New York City for the summer, and just like immerse myself in nature and a different culture for a while. I feel like it was like a perfect segue into, coming here.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. And you loving it so far?
I'm loving it and living it and loving it.
I know that's right. As you should be. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, up here, child, let's see. Since we last talked, I moved also. I now live upstate in a house.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with the fur babies.
Yeah, me and my partners and all of our animals, we all moved to one location upstate. So I just commute back and forth between here in New York. And since since then, I also was in a play called The Civility of Our Cashier, which you got to come to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in that. And then I went down to only working one job. So now I'm just at the Oracle shop. Well, I mean, technically I still have 2 jobs because it's the full-time job, you dig? So
Right. Okay.
And I mean that in the most wonderful way. But yeah, I work at the Oracle shop now. It's just that, and I commute back and forth, and like a lot of like art and performance opportunities kind of have like developed. A play that I wrote, original play that I wrote, I entered into a contest back in February, and I ended up winning.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And so starting, I'm at the development for that started this past Monday actually. And so now from now until November 20th, I'll be in like a development program for the play. And then we do 8 performances in an equity showcase. So that's happening. It's just been like, and like you, to kind of go back and like, I mean, I haven't really watched any old episodes either, but just to even think back of this, where I was then versus where I am now, is like a completely different person. So much has changed. Like about my perspective on life. I've really slowed down a lot, which has really made me kind of like get a lot more grounded than I was. So yeah, lots of things have changed. Lots, darling, lots.
Yeah, it's the season. Like I just feel like the spring literally for me was the planting of, you know, this dream, this manifestation that I've had for a while, and had been watering it and watering it. And Spirit was just like, it's time to go. Like, this is not for you anymore. The energy of New York is not for you. It's time to go and see something different,
And you've been planning to see, because I mean, you've been talking about moving to Miami for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, even when we reconnected, that was like one of the first things you said. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to move to Miami. Like, so yeah.
The Oracle Shop is a metaphysical boutique located in the heart of Bushwick, Brooklyn. This shop features beautiful and energizing products for the home, body, and soul, including crystals and minerals, as well as ceremonial and spiritual cleansing supplies, jewelry, oracle cards, tarot cards, books, candles, and more. Come visit us at the Oracle Shop, located at 164 Wilson, Brooklyn, New York, 11237.
So I won't exactly disclose where I work currently, but I do work within like the beauty, skincare industry, and it's a fantastic workforce. The girls are really, really sweet. Everyone is super like supportive and creative. I feel like I could be my full self there. Not that I necessarily couldn't while I was teaching. This is just, it's different. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different industry. So I feel like I get to tap into different parts of myself in the workplace that maybe I didn't before, or I didn't do like consistently. So that's nice. And this place that I live in now, I've like just been here for about it'll be 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks yesterday. Yeah.
Word.
Yesterday, but I've been here since July. So it's just like, day by day, learning about different areas of Miami, seeing what the nightlife has to give here, girl. We went to Twist today.
I was literally just about to be like, girl, what's going on when the lights go off?
Oh. When the lights go off around them palm trees, honey. The Florida girls are just, they are, oh my gosh, a handful. Like last night, we went out at about like maybe like 10 or something like that to Twist. This is like our second time there. And like all of the locals like just let you know like from jump, like this is a transit like city, like a lot of the people that you see here are not from here, who are here, at the club. So they're just like, oh, like making friends here, like it's this, it's that, it's hard. And, and I'm just like, I don't know, New Yorkers, I just feel like when we go to a new place, like we bring that same New York mentality of like just getting to know people, like, little by little and feeling that energy out. And so that's what I'm doing at this point,
Yeah.
But the drinks are definitely very expensive here, especially here on the beach. They have like the beach tags and this and that. And like, it's just, yeah, like.
That pregame is important.
That pregame is important. At Twist, they had like, I didn't even count how many rooms, but there had to be at least 6 or 7. At least or 6 or 7 different rooms. Every room is a different vibe. So like one vibe, you'll have like top 40. Another one, you'll have like Latin, trap, reggaeton.
And are these rooms like huge?
It's not huge in terms of like a Webster Hall huge. Like it's not like a club like that per se, but it's definitely like a bar. Yeah, it's a club, but like a bar, more of like a bar setting. Like there's several different bars. stationed throughout the venue. And then each of those bars like carry like a different mood or like sound or something like that. They even had like a space for drag performance that was going on in one section. A lady was definitely, she was giving her Selena review, honey.
Yeah.
It was cute. It was
Yeah.
cute. We had a good time. Down at Twist.
You just gave me like the whole visual of you walking around like, okay, Selena review. Oh, I love that. I'm gonna have to come down. I haven't been to Miami in like years. And honestly, when I went, I was there for work. And so I had like one night where I just kind of went by myself and just like walked up and down the strip. So I need to come like kick it. I didn't even like go and experience like the beach. So, you know.
Yeah, there's north, mid, and south.
Mm-hmm.
Then of course, like further north, like other counties, there's different beaches. But here in Miami, it's like this strip here. So Twist, where we went, is South Beach. We live a little bit north of where Twist is. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's just gonna be, I'm really looking forward to being able to go to the beach like all year round.
Nice.
Like people are already telling me like, oh yeah, like, it gets cold, but cold here is like maybe 60, maybe like at night, like a 54 or something like that,
Oh,
But then when the sun comes out in the daytime, it goes right back up to 70. Into the 70s and 80s.
You're about to experience your first Christmas with no snow.
Christmas with no snow, even though it's low-key been like that up north some years.
Right.
So
yeah, let's be real.
Climate change.
Right.
So yeah, Christmas with palm trees, I would say. Christmas with palm trees. That should be interesting. And green. They call it a green Christmas.
Okay.
And I mean, by the grace of God, South Florida, well, at least this eastern part of South Florida, was spared with Ian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, thank you to everybody who may be watching this and kind of checked in, just asking me if everything was okay, if we were okay, because 2 hours west of here was a nightmare.
Wow.
Yeah. It was literally underwater.
Yeah. Was there like an influx of people, or just what was happening in Miami during that time?
Well, I hadn't really gone to any supermarkets or anything like that, but I heard out like more inland, there were, people were definitely preparing little by little. But one thing they told me when I first got here, they said like, if the Floridians aren't panicking, you're fine. Like, so at leach people at work and in the neighborhood where we were staying before we moved here, I didn't really see too much of like the hurricane preparation. Like nobody was boarding up their windows and doing all that type of stuff. Because I think we knew the trajectory, like the prediction of the trajectory of the storm was going west out into the Gulf. Gotcha. Of the Bay. So what happened as far as Miami was concerned, was just like storm bands, like bands and bands and bands of wind and rain. Just like heavy rain. I think like 45 minutes from here, like Pembroke Pines, they said like 2 twisters touched down. So that definitely happened.
Oh, wow.
But that's about it. Like it's, thank God, like there wasn't much flooding here. Even on the beach, we were able to smoothly move into our apartment because our moving date was the date that the storm was supposed to hit here. So, yeah, it was a very I wasn't in panic mode, but being that it's my first couple of months here,
right,
and not even settled into my place, I'm just like, like, God, like what's gonna happen? Like,
right.
But that's part of the culture of living down here, So, you know, even for me, it was a learning process of like doing like a storm watch and like seeing where the eye is and like how it's spinning. And you can kind of look at it and see like how it's, you know, which direction it's moving. And then sometimes what happened before it hit, I think St. Myers, is like it slows down. And like it's as it's like breaking off bands, it sucks all of the water in from the shores. So I don't know if you saw pictures of that, like some of the beaches on the Gulf were completely dry. They say when that happens, you know it's gonna be serious because it doesn't just suck up that water and then it's gone. It comes back.
Right.
It comes back. So, whew, child. Mother Nature is not playing with us humans, okay?
No. And hasn't been. And for some reason, that's not clicking. I don't understand why it's like, can you not look right in front of, like, hello, like, get out of the clouds. Look, it's happening right in front, like, what's going on? Shit. Like, we're not saying you can't, you know, go back to the clouds, but come out of them for a second, bitch. Damn. Sorry.
No, for sure.
Bothering me. Like, hello. And then you have people saying stuff, and the people who saying stuff, they're just so like, oh yeah, whatever. And it's like, no, hello. I don't get it. I don't. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, so don't get me going. Please don't. Because I won't stop. It'll be an hour later and I'd be like, and another thing.
But I definitely was, you know, like low-key, like, I mean, girl, if it's gonna be bad, I will be on the first plane back to New York. Like,
plane? How are you gonna get to the plane?
I'm not, well, girl, I was storm watching. I was like, oh, where's she at? Where he?
Okay.
Oh, oh, okay. All right. Okay. I see. All right. Well, you just let me know.
Pay attention to them animals, honey. When you see the animals dipping, then you need to follow suit. Like, okay, y'all out. Time for me to go too. Clearly. It's really interesting, this state I feel like that we're in right now, because the lessons that we need to learn are right in our faces, and they're so valuable lessons for like life, and I feel like we're missing the mark. And it's watching it happen is aggravating, and then not feeling like I can, like, it's not like I can just call somebody and be like, hey, let me tell you what's happening on the ground, because y'all need to explain, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not happening. And so you just sit there like, what is going on? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this right now. You know?
Hello world, this is Freddie Atlas, and my new single, Skies of New York, is now out on all platforms.
Moving to a place where I know politically is not the sparkliest, or the most inviting.
Yeah.
To, you know, people of color, people within the queer community, like, you know, was definitely a lingering thing over my head and a thought, but so far so good. You know, people are definitely not with the shits, for the lack of a better term.
Good.
And also I'm meeting a lot of people from New York that moved here, that's been living here, and that, I think, whether they like it or not, is going to be a huge determining factor in this state turning purple, you know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I feel like it's an interesting time to have moved here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I miss you.
I miss you too. It's funny you say what you just said real quick about moving there, because I was gonna say, like, you being there is almost like such a strong protest, because you're like,
Wow, thank you.
Here's my happiness. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I feel that every fiber of my being.
Yeah, it's a statement. So,
thank you.
mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I feel I in a lot of ways, energetically, I feel that there's like, that's confirmation, because I kind of get that sense from some people that I've met here too, you know, and they're like, yes, sis, you here, let's do this. Like, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool in a way. It's cool. Why am I just now noticing that you shaved? Like,
oh yes.
I'm
yes,
so used to seeing you with like facial hair. Come on, baby.
Yes. So this is what happened. It's kind of interesting. It's part of like the journey I've been on over the last couple months.
Let's get into it.
In Albert Cashier, I played 2 characters. and they were 2 binary characters at that. So I played a male character and a female character every other night. And so, which is an interesting journey on its own. We'll get there. But after that, I was getting ready to start like drag, right? We should talk about this. Like, I was like, you know, getting ready to do drag and everything. Islea is gonna be was officially my drag mother.
Oh,
yeah. So like, I was getting ready to start drag, and so I was like, well, at first, because I had this underlying like thing with my beard, like I liked the way I looked in a beard, and I didn't like the way I looked without one per se. So like there was always this like I can't let it go. And then like after I was gonna let it go for the play, and they were like, no, you can keep it because we want the gender like fuckery of it all. So like your female character can have a beard. And I was like, okay, cool. And so afterwards I shaved it just to like start practicing drag. And now, like, I mean, the whole drag journey is another thing, because I decided that I'm actually not going to pursue drag per se, but I'm going to put elements of drag into me, which is what I was going to do anyway. So because like as I was explaining my drag character, and also too, like Islea really, like all summer long, every Tuesday night I would go to watch her do drag, and then afterwards I would go down like behind the scenes with her and like learn all about like the culture of drag from the back end, which was such a blessing, because like she really invested like so much information, and we still are. Like I'm officially a member of her house, but just as myself, but we'll get there. And so she just taught me so much, and every Tuesday night, faithfully, I would get off work. Everybody knew like Tuesday nights I have to go like spend time with my drag mom. And in that process, I learned so much, and I realized that as I was trying to build this drag character, I was essentially trying to find an excuse to do the things I wanted to do anyway. And after, you know, living life, you know, being Dodge at one point and all this shit, I was like, baby, just be yourself. Like, we have done this, and you don't have people running around calling you by this drag name, and that's going to irritate. Like, just stop, you know? And so I told her, like, I think I'm just going to like do me. I'm still gonna be house of official. That's the name of our house. I was like, I'm still gonna be house of official, but I just want to like do me. Like, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm a performance artist. Like, I do all these things. I'm a producer. Why can't I just be that for the house and still do me? And she was like all for it. She was like, actually, I'm so glad to hear you say this. She's been so supportive. So yeah. And now that like I've done that and I'm like shaving my face consistently, I'm like loving it. I'm like, oh, just give me my face. Like, I ain't seen my face consistently since I was like in my early 20s. So now I'm just here. Plus, besides my performance face with like makeup, there's still makeup that goes on. It's just very simple and classic. Like, I just want like a very like simple, like glowy 60s, just simple beat. So I'm like, let me just keep everything clean. So yes, that's been that journey. So that's why I'm like shaved, and will probably be shaved going forward for quite some time.
Okay. Through the winter, come on.
Okay. Oh yeah, I mean, I got performances and stuff lined up, so you know, that whole ball is like officially rolling. Like, I'm actually filming tonight, like a whole rollout plan. So the beard is not coming back until it decides it's time for it to come back.
Y'all heard it here, so don't ask, don't tell.
Come on, don't
She's
ask.
not coming back. She's not coming back. She's out of stock right
Yes,
now.
out, completely.
Out of stock. I love that.
So yeah, it's been
I'm excited for you. I love when we come to those like realizations of self. Like sometimes it takes, like that outward exploration of like, what if, right? Like, is this something that I want or is for me? And you went faithfully every night for a season and said, this is I am this. I'm already this. Like this is already basically a little bit of what I do,
It actually, it not even, the crazy thing was that it was like a reminder, like it informed me of what I've always wanted to do and never allowed myself to do, because I was always worried, like, basically thinking I couldn't, like, oh, I can't do that. Like, I can't, like, I'm, all the shit we talked about, that whole journey, the gender.
Exactly. No. Exactly.
Yeah,
it brings us back to episode 1, right?
right.
And oh, I'm so happy because like, yeah, in the same instance, it's that for me too here. Like, I haven't fully like gotten back into a creative rhythm of like writing every single day or like recording, but I did submit a taping for a film.
Yes. Oh yes.
Yes. So I think I'm still like in a window of waiting to hear back about that.
Okay.
If anything, possibly the coming days or by the end of the month. But if not, it was the first one. I feel like it definitely opened up a door for me, and I would love to definitely audition for other like opportunities.
Yes. And you should. I mean,
yeah. I've always wanted to act. And I've really been having this conversation with several people lately about how performance has been an aspect of everything that I do, even teaching. Like now it's extremely apparent here with like doing sales and like being on the floor and like giving guests an experience and having them be able to try new things that just give them such satisfaction by the end of this like experience or transaction, like I realized like it has a beginning and a middle and an end, and like the way that I engage with them, so yeah, I definitely feel that all of what I have experienced from, the summertime and leading up to this point is like preparing me to get back out there, musically and creatively again. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the future.
Yes. You
I am.
Look into like local theater and stuff like that in the meantime, especially because like you audition for something theater down there, and if it's something that you can balance between your job and the show, and you get paid for that, it'll be like having 2 jobs, but the other one is a creative one, and you'll be in this show doing what you love, and you're getting paid for it. If it's something you can balance. I mean, it would be a lot because you'd be working full time and doing the show, but if you can balance it, it's worth the practice and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Oh, I have a question for you, actually. So, as a like trans woman on the floor in what you do, does that how does that feel for you? Like, does that help your confidence too? Just like in standing in your truth and being who you are, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. It's so interesting because I think like it is something that I think about quite often, but externally, I don't, how can I say? Like, I don't know if people know or like they don't know. And it kind of doesn't really matter, because what matters to me most is like how I feel. And I just feel like my full self, because again, so coming from a job where I transitioned, everybody knew my story, you know, for the most part. I look past that story. No, but everyone knew my story, you know, and like here, like I'm just Sayje, you know.
Yes.
So I do think that it's helped me just kind of, yeah, like walk into this new season and further into, you know, my journey of womanhood, like we talked about on episode 1, you know, like, and no longer being afraid of that, and living and loving it. And then, you know, also helping people like, well, you know, most of our customers tend to be typically, you know, they're women.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I don't know, like I can see that there's like a level of trust that they have with me when like I'm recommending something for them, whether it be like skincare wise or like makeup wise, you know. And I never thought that I would be doing like this sort of thing. It's interesting. Like I'm always like never thought that I would be teaching, never thought that I'd be here. It's like, okay, God, like this is what it is for right now, you know.
Right?
But it's fun, and like I get to use like a different aspect of, you know, passion. Like I've always had a passion for skincare, for makeup. I had like terrible skin growing up. In like high school, like I went through the whole, you know, major acne phase, and then the acne scarring and like all of that. So when people come to me, you know, with those concerns, like I'm actually able to tell them firsthand, okay, like you came to the right place. Like this is what not to do. Let me just like save you time, money, effort, and let's just start here. Like with from the inside out, you know. So I just, you know, I just speak from the heart, and I think people can see that, people feel that, people appreciate that. It only encourages me to do it more and to do it in other areas of my life. So yeah, girl, like I feel fully in my feminine force here. Fully in my force here. Yes.
Right. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Even down to like, I mean, my clothes. Like I'm actually okay, so I'm actually coming home next week.
Oh, sure.
I'm coming home next week, but it's my sister is having a baby, so I'm gonna be an aunt.
Congratulations.
Yes, I don't know if I told you that, but so the baby shower is actually next weekend on a Saturday. So I'll be only home for like several days. So it's kind of like super compartmentalized. But yeah, I'm coming home to get like a few more things, some light winter stuff, because everybody's like teasing me with like the fall here. They're like, yeah, you'll have some days where you could wear like a little sweater, and you could do this and you could do that. So coming home to get more clothes and like just like, you know, sentimental items for my room, and
I can get grounded and settled in.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna. It's so. This is like. I mean, I'm just gonna go with flow here because a friend of mine sent me this morning out of nowhere, and it's actually really cool. And I wasn't even thinking about it, but when you said like stepping into this like new beginning, and it just hit me like, oh no, I have to share this with you because he sent it to me, and I was just like, ooh, it like totally like spoke to me, and I think it's gonna speak to you too. And it's literally called the New Beginner's Prayer. Okay, so here we go. In out of the way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside of you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you have outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled and out you stepped onto new ground, Your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning. That is at one with your life desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in the risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm. Find your soul senses, the world, for your soul senses, the world awaits you. Okay. 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 I read that and I was like, baby, if you didn't send this to me at the like come on. What a confirmation of a message. So you literally like ushered me right into that. I was like, oh no, I have to read this for her. Like I have to read this.
Oh, thank you, friend, for sharing that. Yeah.
I'm gonna text it to you because you need to just take that with you, like as a new mantra for your everyday new beginnings. Because it's the word.
But it's literally like it's been that, and there was one line in there about like dreams that like stuck out to me because, and every so often, like I feel like the song that you sing to yourself, like that deeper melody, lyric line, mantra, whatever you want to call it, it will reverberate back to you from the outside world. And that for me has been like, I'm learning to dream again, you know? And sometimes I'll see that written out on like a billboard in the back of a bus, on this and that. And so that's really like thematic for me right now, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if the last time we spoke, did I tell you that like every month now I'm doing like a month, I call it, instead of a vision board, I'm calling it a manifestation board.
Yes.
Because I do them in alignment with the new moon. So every new moon within like a 3 to 7 day window of that moon, maybe either like before or after, depending on like my schedule, like how busy I am, or like how loaded I am with like the things that I'm going to put on there. Mm-hmm. Like I just simply spirit write, and I'm just like, for the month of October, this is what I want. And then I go, I personally like to create like a little Venn diagram because I feel like it just symbolically represents like a web, and like it is the weaving of like your dreams. So why not write it that way, you know?
Right.
And like even if it's like simple things, like I like to think of them as little benchmarks that get me to like those bigger goals for the month. Yeah. I write them down, even if one of those benchmarks is like, girl, you need to drink more water, because a lot of times I'm like, oh, why am I feeling like this? Or oh, I'm tired. It's because I'm dehydrated and I need to drink more water. So like, even if it's something as simple as that, or like, you know, when I first got here, applying to jobs and like searching for the apartment, like not just getting the apartment, like obviously, yeah, but how am I going to, I have to search, I have to research, I have to do this. All of that goes on there. And then I place it in a place, you know, in my bedroom or wherever I'm, you know, sleeping, where it'll be the first thing that I see when I wake up, and, you know, the last thing that I see when I go to sleep. Mm. And this way it becomes completely internalized and synonymous and tied to you in a way. Mm-hmm. And then as those things are coming to fruition, or manifestation rather, like I circle them off. And then by the end of the month, you have all these circles, and you're like, wow, it's a full circle moment.
Yes.
And it's been like amazing. I do them with a couple of friends of ours, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And we kind of have like a little like celebration, if you will. And as we write, you know, when we're finished writing them for that month, we congratulate one another on like all of the things, because all of the things have already happened. Mm. So I'm trying to figure out how
That's actually really brilliant. It's a reward system like that you've given yourself.
Yes.
Which
it's a reward system.
Yeah, which keeps you moving forward, you know, and expanding. That's great.
it's a reward system, and it's very rewarding to like see that, and it reminds you of like, oh yeah, like I said, even you have to put even those small things, because like, oh yeah, like I finished a book this month, boom, like I can do this, like I can, and you know, it like trains your brain to say like you can do X, Y, Z in anything, you know.
Yep. You just got to work at it.
You just have to work at it. So
yes.
And you have to celebrate it too. Like you have to remember to be, you know, excited about your dreams, about your work, and about your spiritual work. So that's been another thing too here, friend, like getting deeper into that, into spiritual practice and meditations, and really falling into a rhythm.
You are in flow, because I was literally getting ready to ask you about sound meditations. And if you were like familiar with them, and sound therapy, because I know that you're sound sensitive. Oh shit, sound sensitive as a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because that's been something that's really been helping me as well, is like I almost like all summer long, I just one day started deep meditating with like sound therapy.
Same. Oh my God.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Like,
yes.
Like when I say like purging, like in room by myself, like sound, I now do sound baths where like I fill up to, or sometimes I'll listen to like sound therapy music when I'm in the shower, so that the vibration of the water is also in like harmony with me. So like I'm like, so which you should get into it. It's a big difference. You fill the tub up with your salts and everything, and put on a sound bath and sit in the water and watch the water vibrate to the base of the sounds and stuff, and like just meditate, especially because you're water sensitive too, sis. Game changer. Game changer. Like, because it's more than just like a body, like a physical body cleanse. It's an energetic body cleanse all at the same time. And like, it's, yeah.
So when you say the vibration, so do you feel like in your bathroom you have speakers, like a subwoofer kind of thing happening that's helping that? Okay, so
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I do take my like portable speaker and like put it on, but
okay,
and I just put it on. But the thing is that water responds to vibration anyway, period. Whether it's like, you know, the portable speaker or a built-in speaker, it's just water just responds to vibration, period. So it's crazy to see this portable speaker be on the counter, and I'm looking at the water that I'm in, and it's actively like based on the sound therapy. Like, and I always do like the chakra meditations. Like I'll do like, sometimes I'll do like a 14-minute chakra, or 21, or if I'm in there for a long, I'll do an hour. Like when I come into the store, the first hour of my day at the store is an hour chakra like cleanse for the store. Like it's become a whole
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's become a whole practice for me. It's literally changed so much, and in not just the way I think, but it made me find like the imbalances and stuff, and it's just game changer. Like, so you just because you like talked about like your meditation stuff like that, you like, I literally was about to ask you about that, so yes.
I'm definitely going to do the water thing. I mean, I know like for me in relation to water, like when I go to the beach, and I'm standing in the water, swimming in the water, whatever, like I'm constantly like, almost like, for the lack of a better term, like the ocean is like one big altar to me. So like I'm speaking, I'm like, I'm speaking, I'm asking, and I'm listening, you know, listening to a lot more, like listening as well. Like I feel, because here, like, first of all, South Florida, like Miami, like this is probably the bluest like of Caribbean water you're gonna get, like in, you know, the United States, unless you're, you know, you take a boat like to an island somewhere. So here I'm, as I'm living here now, like I'm noticing that the water changes, like it changes color, it changes clarity. It, you know, if there's a storm out at sea, like it could be choppier, or like here in the summertime, like the water, like before that storm came, the water was like, at one point it felt like it was warmer than the temperature outside. Like it was like, girl, like it felt like the water was like almost 90 degrees and outside was 80. It was like a 10-degree difference.
But that makes sense because that's what causes the storm. It's the heat from
That's
the
what
water.
causes the
Yeah.
storm. So all of those things, like when I'm in at least the ocean here, like I'm observing those things, like the clarity, like the waves, like what is it doing? And sometimes I'll get messages, you know, from that, like as it pertains, like if I'm asking if you know, for the week, or like if there's something that I'm, you know, looking to or for or whatever. So I definitely agree with you with that on like the water child, but I haven't thought to do that like in the shower, like in the bathtub. I do meditate in the bathtub, like with music sometimes, but like having it play out loud and stuff, like I'm definitely gonna try that. What I've been doing is like, you know, with LED lights, I'll set the LED light to the color of the chakra that I feel like I need to address or work on or open, and I'll put on like a sound bath in a corner or in alignment to that chakra. So that has been my thing. That has been my thing. That has been a yes. Okay.
Because what I do is like when I'm in my room, like so this is my like art room in the house, like my production room in the house. And so when I'm in here, I'll go to YouTube and put it on because I can get that color light coming from this of my computer screen, and I'll turn up all the lights and just be in here with that screen, because as the sound meditation is moving up, it changes color to the chakra so that I can like be in that space. And girl, I got my chakra oils. I got oil. There's this oil spot by my house that has oils that are have essential oils specifically for each chakra. And they're like roll-ons. So like I have my like oil, like it's the whole thing. Like definitely like very intentional. Like hello, like these are like think about it. Like as creative people, these are the elements that we learned life. I learned life through music and sound and art. Like I understood like how to be a person through music, art. So it makes sense that these will be tools for us as people to use this language. Art, you know, like hello, like that's the reason why like you go to like an art school, you have their kids that they're like they need to go to art school because they have to learn through these mediums, and they also are healing mediums as well. So I find it to be very interesting that we're drawn to these things naturally. It's not nothing that anybody taught us, just our intuition. And our intuition is like we need to do X, Y, and Z. And then we start doing it, and it ends up working so much better for us than any other like way that we've been taught things. I find that to be very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like there needs to be more study there, because
there needs to be more study there. Yeah,
clearly. And you've always been very like you said, like you've always known like water for you has always been like a space for you. You don't know why, but you're just always been drawn to the water, and you allowed that to like lead you to where you are. Like yes, sis. It's a yes for me.
Oh, I can't wait for you to come visit. It's a cool place. Like like I said, it's a cool place. Like it's different. It's very different from New York, but you know, it has that vibrancy of like there's lots of things to do here. There's definitely different cultures. It's a huge, you know, Latin community here. But there's also, you know, there's some Black folk. There's definitely, it's Miami. I will give it its credit as it's in the South Florida, like its own little tiny melting pot. It definitely is giving that for sure. So it's cool. I feel like it's a cool place to be. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited to hear about these shows that are going to be coming up.
Yeah. Okay, so I could tell you. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I can tell you because I'm actually it's okay. I need to talk about it anyway because I actually I got to start promoting it. But so there was 4 winners of this contest. I was one of the 4, and one of the winners had to drop out because she's filming in LA and can't make it back. And she's doing like all this stuff, and so we were in a meeting with the other. And the director of the theater company and the contest offered me that other slot to perform my original music. And without, mind you, this is the crazy part. Secretly, I've been like in deep art work at home, recording, writing, making all this music, putting together projects, putting together my performances, and then like taking the stuff that I learned from like drag and like literally, because like in my room, like the closet is like full like mirrors, and so I be in here rehearsing, like total like was putting this all together anyway. Like my rollout music was getting ready to start on November 11th. Why is that the opening night of the damn theater?
Oh wow!
With both. So now I have 2 shows in this festival, and so my like full, because it's actually so I'm such a dork for this stuff. I love it so much. So the non-musical play is called Pride, and it's about these 2 people that end up getting stuck on the L train, like the last car, 3:00 in the morning on the evening of Pride. They are from 2 completely different walks of life and have 2 completely different experiences about Pride. One is white, one is Black, and they end up getting into a really heated discussion about their experiences in like a very like deep way in that time that they're stuck. And so that's what the play is about. And it actually was supposed to be it's an excerpt that I was starting for a bigger series, because I wanted that moment to happen, and then we follow these 2 people in their lives and watch how that one moment changed their perspective on how they move through life. And then a year later they bump into each other again at like a big Pride event, having not seen each other since that moment. But it was one of those chance meetings that like change your life forever, very New York, you know. And they like come together at this Pride, and we kind of see who they are now, and what now happens between the 2 of them. Do they become friends? Do they date? Where does this now go? And so that was like, this short excerpt is what I won for in this play. But with that being said, is that with that's happening, my project, my EP and other music that I'm going to release that are separate from the EP is turning into like a 1-person show that like I've just started like producing, like literally like a 1-person musical. So like once like they don't know this, they think I'm just coming with like 3 or 4 songs, but I'm actually literally writing a 15-minute 1-person show. So
It's a 1-act play.
Yeah, it's done. And I'm so excited about it. Like I've already like got the first 6 minutes of it down. The other 2 songs, one of them is being mixed. I gotta re-record vocals for one, because I just did like a demo version and like tweak the beat a little bit more, and then I gotta add the like transitions and like build the whole story. But the story is there in my mind, like I can see it like clear as day. I just gotta like finish it up by the end of next week, so that I have like a solid 3 weeks of rehearsal for it, because I gotta choreograph it and stage it and do all the lightings and everything. But
Yes.
what's cool is that the actual play, they got me a director, they got my actors. All I have to do is focus on the writing. So it frees me up to just be like, well, I just got to focus on the writing here, then I can focus the rest of my attention on this 1-person show, and then just boom. And 8 performances, equity showcase. I'm hyped. I'm so excited.
Yes.
So
So it's November 11th?
yeah, it's we have yes, November 11th through November 20th. Yes. But I'm in rehearsals and preparation for that like all this month and into next month. So yeah, I'm hyped.
Yes.
But I haven't said anything much to anybody. Only people who really know is because I was at Fred's house when I got the invite to take that slot and perform. And I literally like woke him up like, Fred, you are not going to believe what just happened. Because it happened. The crazy thing is it happened the morning after my first performance, as like doing me the way I'm going to be doing me moving forward, very theatrical, very like it was the first one I did. And that next morning is when I got that invite, and I was like, okay, well, it's on. Like,
ball is moving. It's moving from your court, and we pray in many different courts.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So that's that. And you know how it is when you're like preparing for stuff. Sometimes you don't want to like say a lot because you don't
Yeah, no, of course.
energy to come in and cat. So that's why I've been quiet about it. But I do like probably I think we get our links for tickets on the 16th, which is 2 days from now. So I'm gonna have to start talking about it. So it's like, oh well, we gonna have to get over this hump, honey, and get to promoting. Like
Yeah, to promote. Yeah. You don't have to say the details about the performance, but like for people to come see it, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I just I be trying to just do stuff like, oh, it's okay. I'm just and it's like, no, honey, it's okay.
I know. I've been trying to find like balance with that, and just like not even just opportunities, but like everything, like dating, like all that stuff. And I'm just kind of like, well, yes, if it's something that's for me, it's something that's in motion, it's whatever. Like, if I'm fully and firmly believing in that, like, what is for me, then it doesn't matter who I shared it with or whatever. Like, can nothing, nothing, nobody, a spirit, a man, woman, child, deter what is for me. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel you. And also, you want like an element. Everybody likes, well, not everybody, but I love the element of surprise sometimes.
Yes.
So, especially when you're unveiling something, yeah, you want to have like a little bit of mysterious,
But you said something really key too. Like you're right. Like what's for you is for you. So live in it, enjoy it. Like I'm always cautious of that. I'm just cautious because like I like to, I mean, by now I get focused and I'd be like, okay, and I just don't be having time for outside energy, even remotely planting seeds. But you're absolutely right. What's meant for me is for me. And that's the only thing I need to be concerned about. Like, just like me being me is all I need to be concerned about,
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that.
And I know that like because I know I've spoken before, like on our church over the rainbow episode with Dr. Elijah. I spoke like very candidly about Kabbalah and like my experience with it. But I know one thing that they talk about, like when they speak of like evil eye and things like that, and like people unconsciously even having thoughts like towards us that are like negative or jealous or like what have you. And they talk about like when you're like sharing like things that you dreams or hopes or wishes or whatever, they say that it's the best practice to share it with those who love you, right? And so I feel like if we're doing the work to surround ourselves with people who have our best interests and we vibrate with, then yes, like we can talk, we can share. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You know what I think too? I think some of that is like, as a person, as you grow and expand, the reality of other people growing and expanding as you are that are around you is not always like the same. And so sometimes when you are taking strides to something that you've like never done to them, but it's something that's always been true to you, but to them it's like, well, I don't know this version of you, so what are you talking about? And it's like that's where stuff gets tricky, because there'll be people who love you but they just never seen you be you, and so they are convinced that you are the version of you that they know, and anything outside of that is like, okay. And
oh yeah, I've had
you know what I mean? Yeah. Right. And it's like, let me grow, like love me, but let me grow and expand. Like I'm not. And so sometimes there are people who do love you, but they also don't know how to even allow themselves to grow and expand. So they don't expect anybody else to. They don't even understand what that would even mean. So that's what I mean by like people coming in and throwing off energy, because it's like,
no, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's why I was like piggybacking into that and saying that like if that is not present within the exchange, then it's kind of like, oh girl, like we don't need to be sharing. and it's hard because again, like the light, it doesn't discriminate. Like when the sun shines, it shines on everyone, right?
Exactly.
And so, but I think as vessels, that are being filled, like you're filling your cup, it's like when you're spilling that cup over, like where are you pouring it into? You know what I mean? So yeah, no, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's why. But I also recognize that a part of, like you said, what's meant for you is you, and a part in standing in like what you do confidently, unshakenly, if that's a word, is being able to just like say what you want to say and not be concerned about outside things. And if it is something that you're doing that you're excited about, you want to tell people you're excited about it. So I'm that's like the another like thing where it's like, okay, it's okay for me to be like, because I'll talk about everything else, but when it comes to like my music or like theater and stuff, I won't say a word because I'm like, I don't want anybody to like ruin this for me. But it's like, no, they can't ruin it for you. You're absolutely right. So
Wow.
that was good.
Oh, let me see the nails. The green.
Oh yeah, this is my color. It's so I use SC green. This like really pretty like candy apple green. And then I put a gold glitter on top. So it's like this like chartreuse, like metallic green. I've been doing this for like months. It's like my favorite. And people, I get compliments on it like all the time. They're like, "Oh, I love your nails." I'm like, yes, it's my green has been the color for me for months now. Like I've been in a very like green space. So I just been rolling with it.
I'm trying to decide on the color for my accent wall here. Ooh. In my room. So I'm debating between like a marigold. That would be pretty. A very light forest green, or some form of like raspberry, like a pink that has like a hint of red, not quite a coral, but like a rosy, like raspberry color. Like the theme for our apartment is like boho meets like Art Deco, like Miami Art Deco. So I'm trying to find ways to keep that theme streamlined throughout the entire house, including like my bedroom. So yeah, I gotta decide. And when I saw the green, like, and you just talk about the green, I was like, green might be the green might be out of the ball.
The Oracle Shop is a metaphysical boutique located in the heart of Bushwick, Brooklyn. 164 Wilson, Brooklyn, New York, 11237. The Oracle Shop.
Yeah, I'm just happy that we finally got to sit down and catch up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
in a minute.
It's been a minute, like a thorough catch up. You know?
Yeah. I mean, we both got so much going on, and sometimes it's like when you're trying to get grounded and settled, it's like you can't do anything but be like, I'm sorry, I want to talk to you, but like I got like I'm trying to like gather me, and then I'm gonna tell you everything, girl. Let me gather me, and I'm gonna tell you everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I get it 100%. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you're like thriving and everything.
Thank you.
So will I see you when you come up here next week?
It's very possible. I'm trying to, speaking of Fred, so I called him the other day because I'm trying to see if we can do something at his place. And like this way I'll be able to get to see like everyone. Because a couple of our friends had wanted to do like a sort of a proper going away thing, like you and I have talked about before too. So I'm trying to get away, like to get everyone to kind of like come through for next week. So I'll be able to get to see.
Well, let me know. I'm actually going to be at Fred's next week. I'll be there Tuesday because sometimes when I'm in the city, I stay there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I'll be back in the city Saturday. So I'll either be there or let me know and I'll arrange to stay in the city.
Yay! Okay, cool. Cool.
I will see you next week.
Yeah, I get in on Thursday.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're staying until?
Sunday.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. Let me know.
Okay, love.